What is up, my friends? It is Tuesday evening's Anfield Agenda News Roundup, and you're very welcome along to today's video. Over the course of the next 8 to 10 minutes, we're going to discuss the impending signature of Florian Wirtz at Liverpool, what we can expect and when the unveiling will take place. We're going to speak about Malik Fofana as the race really heats up for his signature. A little bit about a potential purchase for FSG of another club. Then we're going to look at Harvey Elliott and Endo and talk a little bit about their futures. That and lots more to come up over the next few minutes. But when I do my part, I want you to do your part and let me know in the comment section. Do drop a like on the video if you enjoy it. And of course, we'd love you to join the Anfield Agenda WhatsApp community. You can do so by scanning that QR code on the screen or using the link in the description. Right, loads to get into. So let's start off with the latest about Florian Wirtz. Nothing earth-shattering here, but we do know that the announcement of Wirtz and the transfer is planned for Friday, according to Florian Plettenberg. So we'll come in, do his medical, hopefully get the media sorted out as well. And I'm keeping my fingers crossed that it is actually announced on Friday, because I won't be around for the weekend and I'd hate to miss that announcement. Also from Rich Jolly, Florian Wirtz rejected more lucrative offers because of his desire to move to Liverpool Football Club. Let's be honest, it never gets old hearing that, does it? The players could have got more money elsewhere, but they wanted a little bit of that Liverpool life. They wanted a bit of that Anfield agenda. Well, maybe they didn't. They wanted a bit of Anfield though, so maybe I can shoehorn my way in there a little bit. Okay, so I'm reaching, but bear with me. Let's talk about Andy Robertson. At this stage of the summer window, according to Fabrizio Romano, Andy Robertson has made no decision as of yet on his future. Now, there was a report the other day that suggested that Andy Robertson had already said yes to Atleti, but this piece here said no decision made yet on his future. Fabrizio goes on to say he will take a break and any discussions will be held after his holidays. No talks on the fee will happen just yet until the player decides on what he's going to do. So that's where we're at with Robbo. We're still really none the wiser as to whether it would be Andy Robertson or Costas that moves on in this summer transfer window. I mean, I'd be extremely surprised if it was both, but if you were in charge of Liverpool right now, let me know what you do in the comments. Would you keep Robbo around for that experience, or would you cash in before his contract runs up at the end of next season? Personally, I'd rather keep Robbo and move on Costas, but maybe you think differently, and as I said, feel free to let me know in the comments. A little bit on Endo, because he's been somebody who you guys have been asking a lot about what's going to happen with him. Well, the man himself said, I'm staying. I have a contract. It's up to me to make the final decision. Basically, I'm staying for now. So does that really tell us anything? Started off very committal. I'm staying. It's in my hands. It's my future. I'm staying for now. Take from that what you want. Tyler Dibling. Let's have a little chat about him because, according to Called Offside, Liverpool have joined the race with Manchester United, Chelsea and Newcastle for Southampton star Tyler Dibling, and Porto are also in the mix. Now, to be fair, I have read quite a bit around Porto's interest in Tyler Dibling, but surely that asking price is going to have dropped down. There were reports during the season that they would ask as much as 100 million quid, and let's be honest, good talent he certainly is, but 100 million quid for a player that got relegated, come on, I can't see that getting done. So hopefully it's a more realistic price point, but I'll be honest and say I've not watched all that much of Tyler Dibling. From what I can gather, he's a very hot prospect, but I've not really seen that much of him because I didn't see that much of Southampton this season. But let me know what you guys think. Liverpool, United, Chelsea and Newcastle, according to Called Offside, as well as Porto, all in the mix for a signature. And let me know as well what you guys think would be a realistic price for Tyler Dibling, because the 100 million quid of previous is just madness. Surely it's got to be something below 50. Right, Davos E. Kopp said, breaking, FSG are interested in buying Getafe. Now, we have spoken a little bit about the fact that them buying a second club, or the multi-club model, had seemed to have stalled a little bit. It was one of the reasons that Michael Edwards was brought back into the fold, was to help FSG buy more football clubs. And we know that they'd looked at a couple of clubs, didn't really pull the trigger on any of them. But Getafe, that would be a very, very interesting club to buy. So let me know what you guys think on this one. For me, I've always liked the idea of, I don't want to say a feeder club, but certainly a club, let's say, like Getafe, where maybe you could bring in some of those South American players at an earlier age, put them into Getafe's team, see how they get on over in Spain, and then if they start shining, well, maybe that pathway is there to bring them through to Liverpool. So Getafe, ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you think on this one, and do you think it's a good move to go into the multi-club model? Right, let's talk a little bit about Harvey Elliott, a name that we know we haven't spoken too much about because he's been playing with the under-21 Euros with England. But, again, according to Dave Cop, Aston Villa are reportedly leading the race to sign Harvey Elliott. I think that'll be a great move for him. I've spoken about Newcastle in the past as well. I'm a big fan of Harvey Elliott. I want him to get minutes. I want him to move on because, let's be honest, his time now is probably going to be limited on the pitch at Liverpool with the arrival of Wirtz. So, on this one, as long as Liverpool get a good deal out of it and Harvey Elliott's happy, I'm happy. Whether it's Aston Villa, Newcastle or elsewhere, I guess we're going to find that one out in the future. But let me know what you think here. Harvey Elliott, what is a fair price for him? For me, I'd be thinking upwards of 35 million, but maybe I'm being a bit greedy there. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. If you were Liverpool, what would be the asking price that you set? Now let's move on to something a little bit more exciting. Malik Fofana, a name that you may know very well, or it may be a name that you've heard in fleeting bits of conversation. The first time he came to my attention was when I heard that he said the dream was to move to Liverpool, that Liverpool would be the club above all else that he'd like to move to. So when we start being linked with him and we start seeing things like him changing agents, which he has, by the way, he's now represented by Rock Nation, which of course is Jay-Z's agency, and it looks like he's going to move this summer. Now, I believe he's a Belgian international, very highly thought of winger playing for Lyon. That's as much as I really know about him. Of course, we'll do a deep dive if it progresses. But we also know that Chelsea have touched base recently, as well as a few other clubs. But Liverpool probably going to have to wait and see what happens in the forward positions. Maybe if we move on Chiesa or something like that, we can look at bringing in another wide player. L'Equipe say that Liverpool have held talks with the representatives of Lyon winger Malik Fofana, who's recently changed his agency, as we said, joining Rock Nation. Chelsea have been in discussions for the 20-year-old, who's valued at €50 million. So there you go. 20 years of age. I think I said maybe 18, 19 a second ago. If I did, apologies. 20 years of age. He's valued at about €50 million, which is about £42.7 million according to the latest currency exchange. What do you think there, ladies and gentlemen? Looking into his numbers, I think he had 6 goals last season, something like that for Lyon. So it's not exactly jumping off the page, but I would dare to say that the statistics, the data, probably shows something that excites Liverpool Football Club. Now, we do know that Chelsea have touched base. They've also, of course, made their play for Jamie Gittens of Borussia Dortmund. Both those clubs are over the Club World Cup at the moment. Actually, as I sit here, Dortmund about to kick off in about 10 minutes. So, let me know what you think happens here. Is he somebody you would like to see coming into Liverpool Football Club? Is that €50 million asking price a fair one? Or do we think this is just more paper talk? For what it's worth, I could see this one being real if Liverpool have space in the front line, but not going to sit here and claim to be an expert on the player or anything like that. I'm certainly far from it. So that is pretty much it for now. We have been doing a little bit of plane watching, of course, as well. Keeping an eye on when Milos Kerkez will be in for his Liverpool medical. We already brought you the news last night that his father said, it's Liverpool, it's only Liverpool. If Richard Hughes told us to go to India, we'd go to India. So you can really see there the connection between the Kerkez family and Richard Hughes. Seems to be nothing but trust there from his father and, of course, from Milos as well. We've already seen him, well, basically admit he's coming to Liverpool, and then his dad came out and said, yes, it's only Liverpool last night. That's certainly something that excited me, ladies and gents, and I'm sure it did you as well. So we'll give you the very latest on that tonight at 8:45 for the Late Night Agenda. As always, your support is very much appreciated. Thank you so much to everyone that's reached out over the past couple of weeks as well. People who are new to our community, sending emails and messages. We really do appreciate all of your support, and welcome to the family if you're new in. And that is it, yeah, as I mentioned, I'll see you guys tonight, 8:45 for the Late Night Agenda, and then we will have a late night news roundup as well. We'll talk soon. Enjoy your Tuesday. Bye-bye.